Tension is hitting the automotive world, and I know many of you aren't aware of this yet. Information reaching us now reveals that Porsche has decided to part ways with Bugatti entirely. Porsche just sold their 45% stake in Bugatti Rimac, completely walking away from a brand. And the automotive community is connecting the dots to Matt Armstrong's viral exposures that challenge Bugatti's credibility. Before we continue, subscribe now and smash that like button. Don't forget to share, because Porsche walking away from Bugatti Rimac means a hypercar maker is now independent from Volkswagen Group backing, and the timing right after Matt Armstrong's Chiron and Veyron rebuild series cannot be ignored. Let's break down exactly what happened, why Porsche sold everything, and what the automotive community is saying about the role independent repair advocacy played in the stunning corporate divorce. The announcement came directly from Porsche. They're selling both their 45% stake in Bugatti Rimac and their 20.6% stake in Rimac Group simultaneously. The buyer is a consortium led by HOF Capital, a New York-based firm with Blue 5 Capital as the largest investor, alongside institutional backers across the U.S. and EU. This means Bugatti is no longer a Volkswagen Group brand. Bugatti is now independent, Rimac-led, and privately backed by investors with no connection to Stuttgart or Wolfsburg. That's massive. Bugatti has been part of Volkswagen Group since Ferdinand Piëch acquired it in 1998 and spent billions building the Veyron. For nearly 3 decades, Bugatti operated as a VW Group prestige asset. In 2021, Porsche restructured the arrangement by forming a joint venture with Croatian EV company Rimac Group, creating Bugatti Rimac with Porsche holding 45% and Mate Rimac controlling the rest. Now Porsche is completely out. They sold everything. Bugatti is independent for the first time since 1998. Porsche's official explanation points to financial pressure. In 2025, Porsche's operating profit slumped 93% year-over-year, a near-total collapse. Slowing EV demand, rising production costs, and the broader VW Group restructuring crisis all converged simultaneously. Porsche's new CEO, Michael Steiner, took over with a single mandate: restore profitability and refocus on core business. In that environment, a 45% stake in a hypercar joint venture and a minority position in a Croatian EV company became difficult to justify on a balance sheet that needed urgent repair. Translation: Bugatti Rimac wasn't generating the returns Porsche needed. Rimac Group wasn't yet profitable. Porsche needed to strengthen its financial position and couldn't justify owning expensive hypercar ventures during a financial crisis. That's the official story. But the automotive community has developed a different theory, one that centers on reputation damage and the power of independent documentation. The comments under the Porsche announcement reveal what enthusiasts actually think influenced this decision. One person commented, "I think it's because they successfully fixed the purple Bugatti in a local garage." They're referring to Matt Armstrong's rebuild. The car Mate Rimac made a public video claiming couldn't be repaired outside specialized facilities. Matt split the chassis in a Florida body shop, fabricated components Bugatti refused to sell, documented that certain Bugatti safety systems share architecture with more common Volkswagen Group components, and proved the entire process was possible with skilled technicians and determination. Another commenter said, "Now we can say that a Bugatti isn't a Volkswagen, LOL." The irony cuts deep. Matt's rebuild revealed that Bugatti, like every luxury manufacturer, utilizes platform sharing and component integration from its parent company. Now Bugatti is no longer owned by Volkswagen Group, but that doesn't erase the fundamental truth about automotive manufacturing. Shared engineering is industry standard, not a scandal. Another commenter alleged, "Matt Armstrong owns them now." That's the sentiment spreading through the community. Matt doesn't literally own Bugatti, but in the court of public opinion, he challenged their narrative. He exposed their parts exclusivity model, questioned their CEO's public claims, and proved independent repair was viable despite manufacturer resistance. Bugatti's mystique was built on exclusivity and technical complexity that supposedly required factory support. Matt tested that mystique by showing that aluminum engineering and problem-solving assembled in expensive packaging. Another commenter expressed, 3 places in the world to fix Bugatti, that's why. They're directly referencing Mate Rimac's claim that only 3 facilities worldwide, can handle Bugatti repairs. Matt demonstrated that any competent workshop with skilled specialists and determination can tackle these challenges. His fabricator Bob welded chassis components to professional standards in a rental body shop, contradicting the narrative of impossibility. Another commenter wondered, "I really wonder if Alex Choi and Matt Armstrong have anything to do with this." People are directly connecting Matt and his collaborators Chira and Rebuild to Porsche's decision to abandon Bugatti. That's how significant the cultural impact of these builds has become. While it's unlikely that YouTube content directly influenced boardroom decisions worth hundreds of millions, the perception that public scrutiny damaged Bugatti's premium positioning is widespread. Another commenter said, "It all makes sense now." This played well for Mate Rimac. The comment suggests Mate Rimac actually benefits from Porsche leaving. Now he controls Bugatti independently without Volkswagen Group oversight or Porsche shareholders questioning his decisions. But does it really play well for him? He's now responsible for making Bugatti profitable without the financial security of one of the world's largest automotive manufacturers. And he's doing it while Matt Armstrong's videos have accumulated tens of millions of views, demonstrating that Bugatti's service model depends on parts exclusivity, that components share engineering with other Volkswagen Group vehicles, and that independent repair is possible despite manufacturer discouragement. Porsche walking away from Bugatti after Matt Armstrong's high-profile rebuilds creates several interpretive possibilities. First theory, reputation impact. If potential Bugatti buyers watch Matt demonstrate that the cars share component architecture with more accessible brands and can be serviced independently, that potentially undermines the exclusivity justification for multi-million-dollar valuations and five-figure service appointments. Damaged exclusivity perception could mean lower sales projections, which makes Bugatti Rimac less attractive as an investment, which reduces the value of Porsche's 45% stake, which motivates selling during a financial crisis when every asset is being scrutinized. Second theory, pure financial coincidence. Porsche's 93% profit collapse is documented fact. VW Group's restructuring crisis is real and ongoing. Selling non-core assets during a financial emergency is standard corporate strategy regardless of any YouTube content. The timing is coincidental, not causal. Major corporate decisions involve months of analysis, board approvals, and negotiation. They don't pivot based on social media trends. Third theory, Mate Rimac orchestrated independence. He wanted full control without Porsche oversight. He potentially leveraged the shifting perception around Bugatti's exclusivity model to convince Porsche that future brand challenges made the investment less certain, making them willing to sell. Now he controls Bugatti independently with private investors backing on his terms, free to evolve the brand strategy without corporate committee approval. The reality is probably more complex than any single explanation. Matt's documentation challenged traditional narratives. Porsche's financial crisis forced strategic reassessment. Mate Rimac saw an opportunity for independence. Market conditions for ultra-luxury hypercars shifted. Everything converged simultaneously. Bugatti is now independent, Rimac-led, and privately backed with no Volkswagen Group connection. Mate Rimac controls a brand, but must prove profitability without a corporate safety net. And he's navigating this transition while independent repair advocacy has gained unprecedented visibility. Whether Matt's rebuilds directly influence Porsche's decision or represent pure coincidence matters less than the perception. The narrative spreading through automotive communities is that independent documentation exposed business model vulnerabilities so effectively that even Porsche reconsidered their strategic commitment. That perception itself represents a cultural shift in how enthusiasts view manufacturer exclusivity claims. Here's what we know with certainty. Bugatti Rimac is now independent. Mate Rimac has full control and full responsibility. The hypercar market faces uncertain conditions. Independent repair advocacy has reached mainstream automotive consciousness, and Bugatti must now prove its value proposition can sustain premium pricing in an environment where information flows freely and exclusivity claims face immediate scrutiny. The broader implications extend beyond one brand. Every luxury manufacturer maintains parts exclusivity and service monopolies. Every premium brand claims specialized knowledge justifies extreme service costs. Matt Armstrong's approach, document everything, source alternatives, prove independent repair works, represents a direct challenge to that model. His Chiron rebuild wasn't just about fixing one car. It was about testing whether manufacturer claims about repair impossibility hold up under determined scrutiny. The answer, documented across dozens of videos watched by millions, was that skilled professionals can overcome artificial barriers when motivated. Bugatti now operates in this changed landscape. They can't simply claim repairs are impossible outside their network when documented evidence proves otherwise. They can't justify parts pricing purely on exclusivity when component origins are public knowledge. They must compete on actual engineering excellence, customer experience, and brand heritage rather than information asymmetry. For Mate Rimac, independence brings opportunity and risk. Opportunity to innovate without corporate bureaucracy, to evolve Bugatti's positioning, to potentially embrace a more transparent relationship with owners. Risk because he no longer has Volkswagen Group's resources, because hypercar market dynamics are uncertain, because the old exclusivity model faces new challenges. For Porsche, walking away represents strategic clarity. Focus on core brand profitability. Eliminate non-essential investments. Navigate the EV transition. Strengthen the balance sheet. Whether influenced by reputation concerns or purely financial logic, the decision reflects corporate prioritization under pressure. For the automotive community, this moment represents validation. Independent voices challenge manufacturer narratives. Documentation proved alternatives existed. The conversation shifted. Whether that shift influenced corporate strategy or simply coincided with it, the cultural impact is undeniable. Enthusiasts increasingly question exclusivity claims, demand transparency, and celebrate independent problem-solving. The Matt Armstrong factor, whether causal or coincidental, symbolizes this broader shift. One creator with determination, skills, and cameras challenged a multi-billion-dollar manufacturer's narrative about repair impossibility. Millions watched. The conversation changed. Now that manufacturer operates independently, navigating new realities. Bugatti's path forward requires balancing heritage with adaptation. The brand built its modern reputation on Volkswagen Group resources and extreme exclusivity. Now it must prove its value independently in an environment where information spreads instantly and claims face immediate verification. Mate Rimac is brilliant, visionary, and capable, but he faces challenges his predecessors never encountered. Transparency expectations, independent repair advocacy, market uncertainty, all while maintaining the prestige that justifies Bugatti's existence. The next chapter is unwritten. Will Bugatti embrace transparency and build trust through openness? Will they double down on exclusivity despite challenges? Will independent ownership enable innovation impossible under corporate structure? Will market conditions support ultra-luxury hypercars long-term? These questions will define Bugatti's independent era. What we're witnessing is bigger than one brand or one creator. It's about how information access changes power dynamics between manufacturers and customers, about how documentation challenges official narratives, about how independent voices can influence conversations previously controlled by corporate communications, about how the automotive landscape evolves when exclusivity can't hide behind information scarcity. Porsche selling their Bugatti stake marks the end of one era and the beginning of another. Whether Matt Armstrong's work influenced that transition or simply documented the cultural shifts making it inevitable, the result is the same. Bugatti stands independent. The old rules are being rewritten, and the automotive world is watching to see what happens next. Don't forget to subscribe, because Mate Rimac has to prove profitability without Porsche support, and how he navigates these challenges will shape the future of ultra-luxury automotive manufacturing.